Alright, I'll show you a little RBI baseball. It's always nice when you're, doing that well. The only problem, I can't hear the sound now when I do these recordings, which is a bitch. Because obviously with fly balls, anybody who's played this game, that's how you judge. I can tell usually based on just a feel, but not always. Yeah. Come on, swing Baines. Alright. Oh, did you see that jitter? Oh, that was close. Alright, is it? Good game, no hitter for Tooney. Okay, let's see. It's a good day. I should start doing summaries instead of just doing this to these games. Short no hitter, at least something to kind of. I usually do if they're like really stand out. But like I had one game where I accidentally hit 2 inside the park bunt home runs by being fooled on the pitch. So I posted that. So look at this, 783. Wow. So that's like around 70 games I played since this virus back in March. Not bad considering. I pretty much only play now when I'm here at this park with the power, because it takes up a lot of my phone battery to try playing one of these games on the beach. So without having a library the next day, you know what I mean? I don't usually waste my phone on that. And they stole one of my, they stole 2 battery chargers, not just 2 guitars. I've had 2, and one was an Anchor $100 charger that was freaking awesome. You could charge your phone like 10 times with that thing. I missed that. They stole that back in January with the Apogee Duet. Anyway, so what I do is I post on iCloud, and then I go over here to Google, and they're jamming my uploads. So what I have to do individually. So what I do here, I hit that. And see how long this is taking? Alright, there we go. So we got 783. And I got to be careful every time I post. I got to make sure I get the number right, because you get one wrong, you know what I mean? Your count's off, and it kind of hurts your credibility. So I've been very good. I don't think I've gotten anything wrong. The only possibility, if I got anything wrong, is I actually have more wins than what's showing. Like 1 or 2, which I don't think is the case. There was one game I didn't count, even though I won it because they jammed it. So I'm like, you know what? Because what happens was they were jamming the game. So I said, you know what? This game's a dead game. So I declared it dead, but I played it. And I won it. But I didn't count it because I declared it a dead game. Basically, any condition where it's out of your hands and it wouldn't be fair to anybody who played the game, I would call it a dead game. That's when they were jamming it like crazy. And I, but like I said, I still played the game out and won it. But I'm like, you know what? I declared it a dead game because they were obviously jamming it. But that's rare. That was the only one time there was a game that I don't think I counted. So that's rare. Anyway, just trust me, this record is legit, and they know it's legit, but they're never going to admit it. No losses since last January. 783 games. That's insane. I want to get to 1,000, but like I said, I only play one game at a time. And you don't want to think like that because it's so far away. But now the upload they jammed, it got uploaded to here. It took me a while, and I had to do it individually, but there it is, the email to the Detective Shabbat, which sounds like a BS name, by the way. What's funny is it's a cult out here, so they can take anybody and stick them and say he's got the name. It's unbelievable. When you control government, you could say, like, everybody's identity is controlled by them. So everybody's identity is controlled by Catholics. That's why your medical records are private, because they can see it, and only the person can see it. And they can choose whether or not to release any to the public, even though you're not supposed to. You notice they do all the time with celebrities. It's because it's all staged. Apparently the free guy doesn't know that, but you can't release somebody's medical information publicly without their permission. Otherwise you could be sued. But they use the cover of Freedom of the Press, I guess, as the cover. But then that would mean that there would be no privacy at all for medical records, you know what I mean? But with my records, what they're doing is covering up attempted murder with it. So they're hiding my injuries, and using the protection of the, what HIPAA is it? HIPAA is how they can kill homeless and cover it up, because HIPAA gave them interstate records where now they got a federal database, so it made it where they can kill homeless people and do it easily, because they can vet the background of the person. As when it was a state thing and they didn't have a database, at least not acknowledged, it would be much harder to vet the person to make sure nobody would care about them and look for them if they killed them. So now when you come out here, you get vetted right. They spot you right. Everybody out here is mic'd up. Everybody knows everybody. Anybody who comes out here homeless is known right away, if not known before they get here, depending on what their background is. Are they posting on Facebook? Now, if you didn't know, Facebook is government, but you're not being told that's Catholic government. Instagram, all those social media sites, Twitter, it's all run by government, monitored by government, and ultimately to get rid of free people. It's to see who they can get rid of, how, who will qualify for this one world society, and if you don't know that, Catholics already have it planned and mapped out. They have pretty much all the resources, and they have all the jobs planned out, and they want those two filled, and that's it. And any excess, they're going to get killed off. And you have to qualify for it based on your background. You have to be according to Catholics, an outstanding moral character, which is basically the Bible. And that's where we differ, as far as we have a huge philosophical difference, which is why I'm having issues with them. Now, when I say one difference is they want to control society, you do what you're told. You get an earpiece and mic, and you do what you're told, or they cut everything off. And Catholics all swear to this, and once you swear to it, you swear your life to it. And anyway, if they get this system, they have the system, but they want everybody like that. And if you disobey, put it that way, you're disqualified. So they cut off your money, your food, your housing. All housing in here is church owned. It's basically lent to the people. They work, they get a salary, they get to live in the house based on their job and how much they get. I even had one undercover in LA say we all get the same amount of money. He was basically bitching in his microphone. The whole area got the same. They all get the same income, and he was bitching about it in his phone. We all get the same type houses. And if you look out here, you see it, the housing, it's very similar in areas. And what it is, it's Catholic rankings. So anyway, they get housing, their job, their money, all from the Catholic Church. That's how our system works. But from free people, it's being hidden, as it's being transformed into a completely controlled society where everybody does what they're told. That's what the goal is. So no more classes. You're going to be all one system. And there will be classes, obviously, in that system, as far as some people have more money than others. This is how it is. But Catholics are taught to accept that. That's God's will, and they accept it, even though they're miserable as hell. I see so many people out here are miserable as hell. The only fun they get is to watch them try to kill a brain damaged, disabled homeless guy who's homeless because he's a crime victim. And so that's the only joy a lot of these people get. I swear, it's unbelievable. They're miserable as fuck. And they like watching it like go down every day. It's like candy to them. Anyway, here at the Rand Corporation, not to be confused with Rand McNally, they've invented a computer system that is running it. It's basically artificial intelligence. That's exactly what it is. They call it art. It was invented, at least the name stamped to it is Alan Newell. My sister's husband is Paul Newell. And he had a son named Paul, and it might be him. Which, if it is, it would explain to you why I'm getting so much done to me. More than anybody else, for sure. Anybody else would have been dead a long time ago. But since I have all these posts, 1,000 videos every month, they have to beat my videos. So every time I post a video, the bad ones, they don't necessarily have to counter because they suck. But if I post a video that's believable to the viewer, they have to come up with a counter. And so what they do is they stick it on, say, screen left. Here's Jamie's video. We got to beat this. So they'll stage the event with all these people mic'd up to try to counter that video. Now, today that happened. So if you watch my iCloud, you'll see in the 99-cent store, the security guy they took, they try to get him to bend over so they can get a shot of me looking while he was bending over to cover for the post to him the day before, his cam model, he's related to one of these cam models of My Free Cams. A lot of them are out here. A lot of the relatives are out here. And a lot of them are famous people in famous families. These girls are rich. They're in federal agents' families if they're not themselves. They don't need the money. They're doing it to vet free guys who aren't going to qualify for this system. Now, just so you know, Catholics view a sin as a very serious matter. Why free people don't even look at sin. Like, it's not their, there's freedom of religion, so Catholics could think what they want over there. Well, that's not what Catholics want anymore. They want everybody following it, and a sin is a very serious offense to them. Why, to a free guy, you don't spend one day in jail for these sins. And I got a death sentence for what they assumed I was doing that was a sin, and they got it wrong, but they won't admit it. For one reason, all these unhappy, low-end people in this cult would be pissed off if they paid me because it's a lot of money. So I'm stuck with a bunch of these idiots who would go crazy if they paid me. So I'm suffering because these people are stupid. Because they were considering paying me on at least 2 occasions. I don't know how much, but definitely not what I would have wanted. So anyway, so they countered that video I made earlier today. So if you watch my iCloud at the store, you'll see I made a video. The day before I made a video, or was it 2 days before? I don't remember. It might have been 2 days before. I make so many damn videos. And then the day before that, the girl. So I posted the girl, and then he's been there. Like I said, their family out here, a bunch of them. So they have to cover for it. And that's one of the cases where screen left is my video, and they have to beat it. And their number one trick to try to beat half the shit I post is to stage sexually suggestive photos. Because if you think about it, to get nobody not to give a crap about me, you have to stage that, because that's the most that, and they'll say like racism. They'll use those things, the hot topics, the ones that really have an effect, because they're going through the population killing free people. And how do you get rid of free people? You divide them where they don't care, and then kill the one, and then so the rest don't care. That's the formula they have to meet, and they figured it out. They know what formula has to be met as far as the free people not caring. At least not enough to care to make it a problem for them. So anyway, I've yapped way longer than I intended to. That's what sucks. From day to day, they keep staging this stuff, and they don't quit. And I'm not always in the mood to make these stupid videos, and I can't film stuff and not narrate it, because they'll just change the story. So I have to narrate every damn video I make, and sometimes you're just not in the mood to talk. And today was one of those days, at least early on, I was just not in the mood to talk, but I'm forced to. So that should kind of give it away. If you listen to my videos, you can tell I'm telling the truth. It does me. I'm in California. You think I want to be sitting here making these dumb videos of these people? I don't care. No. So, but I do care about getting justice for what happened to me and getting my property back, as they keep stealing my guitar, so I don't post recorded stuff. It came to the point where I had to post those awful clips that I posted. That even the old ones before they stole the Ibanez, those things were never meant to be released. They were just me noodling around, screwing with settings and stuff. I wasn't even playing in time and stuff. So I would like to redo stuff in post, because I can play serious stuff. But the problem is with my brain, I can't just sit there, pick up a guitar and play through. My brain's too damaged. It can't lead. So as you're playing verse to verse, my brain can't remember that. I can play it in pieces, and I have to work on it and then play it and then record it and do it that way. So that's just the nature of my injury. So anyway, guitar, I'm actually not a natural guitar player, even though I can play pretty well. I'm a natural athlete first, so I can go to a baseball field and hit home runs and throw a football 65 yards or whatever, stuff like that. I could have played baseball professionally, no doubt. No, 100%. The only problem is all baseball players are Catholic. You cannot become a pro, honestly, any athlete today without being Catholic. Or you have to be in lockstep with their beliefs and not know it. But that's not even gonna, because you would have to know it, because these games could be staged at any time, because they're all mic'd up too. Even if you didn't know, I'll give you another perfect example. Boxing. Mike Tyson, all that is all bullshit. It was a staged story. Boxing is staged. It's to divide free people. Tyson grew up Catholic. He grew up with Catholic mentors. He's not going to sit there and spout off after being strictly on this training regimen and then to go out there and spout off, and no, that's not how it works. I can assure you that was all bullshit. Just look at him today. He talks normal. He was raised Catholics. It was Catholics dividing free people. And I watched that fight with, who was it? Lennox Lewis versus, no, I said Muhammad Ali. The guy from Georgia, what's his name? The big one. The big boxer. Why am I forgetting his name? Oh, shoot. Evander Holyfield. Why can't I remember his name? Where he Lennox Lewis clearly won the fight, but it was ruled a draw. But they cleverly had the Britain judge, or the English judge, rule a draw while the other two, one ruled one way, one ruled the other. It's all staged. Britain's in this one world system, so is the U.S. And that's what the fight is for, to divide free people, why they conquer them. Now with technology so great, they're going through them in droves. I'm not kidding you. Homeless people out here, when I say homeless, people who lived in their cars, they killed off. Everybody who did not live in a set house in California here, in this cult, gets killed off and has been killed off here. Santa Monica is strictly Catholic. It's unbelievable. They killed them all off. And I'm the only one here, and they actually like me. I know it's hard to believe now with all my posts. They actually, even still, some of them kind of like me. It's because I have personality, I guess. I do. I listen to my videos. I'm like, damn, I could be yeah. And just so you know, celebrities listen to my posts. They listen to this like right now. Like they can hear me talk right now if they want to. Everybody's mic'd up, so anybody who wants to hear me talk right now, as long as they don't have problems with their leaders telling them, no, you can't listen to them. You have to do this today. They can hear me talk. And sometimes I'm interesting, sometimes maybe not, depending on my mood. Sometimes I could be funny, sometimes I could be a little goofy. But they get to listen to it. I'm like their Howard Stern. I'm like their, I'm the king of all homeless media. I didn't just come up with that. I thought of that a while ago. But anyway, I don't think I am, by the way. Just to be clear, as far as I don't think I'm a king of any kind of media. Howard Stern's in this cult, by the way, since I named him. Everybody on TV, everybody on the radio today, anybody who's a big name is in this cult. A simple fact is, when you have that much, you don't want to lose it. In a free society, you would lose it. At least, you would lose it. You know what I mean? The people who have things, they're not just going to let a free guy come in there and take it all. And JFK tried doing that, and that's why they got rid of him. Because it risked their own, their own livelihood. It's not just that, though. It's more than that. They actually want to dominate. It's in their mentality. So it's not just, we're afraid of losing our stuff. These people are not defensive. They're offensive. So you have to understand that. They're not just protecting their assets. They are offensive people. They are, I mean they're like predatory. You know what I mean? Why I'm a free guy who believes everybody should be peaceful and free and happy kind of thing. And people get to decide who they want to be with, who they don't want to be with. As long as they're nonviolent. You know, obviously there's limits to everything. Freedom of speech can go too far. Stuff like that. So that's stuff you would have to work out. But it's not that hard. But if the people at the top with the most power say they don't want to do that because, you know, you know what I mean. Some people, so they believe those gifts are coming from God, which okay, let's all agree. We came from something, and the people who have more, I wouldn't say it's necessarily more skill, but it's more of a powerful skill, like people who can build bombs, right? They believe they should have more power than a person of, working at a regular grocery store kind of thing. I don't believe that. So that's why they created the free system, like a constitution, to get those people not to fight them. So they said, all right, we'll have free elections. You can elect your leader. You pay taxes. You pay for the government. That's not how our system works. Catholics own the money system. They pay for the government. They pay, everything's private. They pay who goes to Yale and Harvard. The Catholics, all Catholics. And they end up being the politicians who run against each other. They're all Catholics. So Catholics never lose power. And then the news is designed to hide this whole BS. And now it's in full force. After 9/11, the news is a 24-hour thing. Even though before they had headline news, that was pretty much the only thing before. For 24-hour news, it was pretty much headline news, and that was it. CNN headline news. Then 9/11 happened. You had Fox got 24-hour news, to CNN. Well, obviously, MSNBC. All of them became 24-hour news after 9/11. And then you realize Catholics did 9/11. It's like the end phase of getting a one world controlled Catholic society. It is. We're in the end stages. If you don't know this is going on, you're going to know within 10 years. It's going on here in full in Santa Monica. It is a controlled society, and it drives them nuts, and I'm not in it. So my videos you see every day are them coming after me because I'm living, like, I wouldn't say freely. I'm injured. I'm going to die, so I'm free to an extent. But all my videos you see with them driving by me and like harassing it. But today they made it clever. They had a guy who I couldn't see in the dirt or in the sand a distance away, so they stopped next to him. I'm assuming he was there when they stopped. I have no idea. They could have put him there after. I went back to sleep after they passed by, or at least wasn't looking. So I don't know if he was there when they stopped. But anyway, they keep staging it on my videos because I posted the video the day before. So today what they did, they had that guy on the ground, or apparently, and then they drove by me, annoyingly, right? And then stopped there, perfectly level with me, all staged. It's just like here, if say it was raining, right, and I'm under that little thing over there, they'll have a guy walk out in the street, act stupid, and then a cop will come by, stop, and do the sirens. But it's for me. We all know it's for me. It's to irritate me. You know what I'm saying? But a viewer wouldn't know that unless you know they're all mic'd up. And that's similar to what they did today by having a pretend homeless guy pretend to be homeless and them go up to him right next to where, right in my field of view as where I was looking. And this is what the cameras see. They run it through the camera system. So imagine that. Out here, you have cameras everywhere. And everybody's mic'd up. So what happens is I go places and I'm in camera shot. So what they do is they tell people through radio communications what to do around me. So you're sitting here trying to dodge all this shit every day because they're trying to stage sexually suggestive shots. Because what they're doing is they're attacking freedom. I'm a free guy. They're like, well, if you're going to be free, we're going to have this girl to your right bend over so you can't look to your right. Now you're not free anymore. That's what they're doing. That's about as clear as I can give it to you. So watch my videos, and that's what they're doing. And how do you explain that? Especially if you're dead, they'll show the videos and say, look at this pervert. And trust me, I don't give a shit about looking at some girl bend over next to me. I do not care, but they all do it. And I've been saying this for years. I posted those March videos of me, the selfies on the beach, 2017, saying this stuff? It hasn't changed. And they tried killing me after those videos. What was it, a year later? Yeah, it was 2018 they tried. That summer, the assault and robbery. Now, if you look, any cover-up has to cover for my sister's Easter conversation. That's what they're going for. That was the biggest view. I got the most views on that than anything. 4,000 people, or at least 4,000 views on my a couple posts I did of it. So at least 4,000 people or views of those 46-minute phone conversation with my sister. You can view it on Facebook. I've posted it many times, but the original post was the Easter 2017, whenever that date was. You can look it up and just check my Facebook on that date and you'll see it. And if you want to listen to it, she basically gives away that they killed my dad too. My dad basically retired and then all of a sudden he got cancer. And what they did, they killed him through the cancer treatment. Very clever. So as he went to get treatment for cancer, it was like a slow death. Did you know they can do that? Probably not. They did it. But she gave it away in that speech. And then I had somebody comment on it, which kind of further gave it away. A family member from West Virginia, a cousin. She spoke up too, and that gave it away even more. But my sister gave it away. And you could hear it in the conversation. When I said my father was in tears, and she says, I bet he was. And then she tried to cover for it, saying, I sure miss him. And that's partly why they paid my family off, because of that. Because they got not only exposed for trying to kill me, and I'm going to die from it, but killing my father as well. So they got paid off. I'm guessing about $1 million per person, which is a lot less than they would have to pay one guy, me. And not only that, I think the Salerno family got paid off as well, who were the neighbors, it appears. I don't know if they paid off anybody else. But, yeah. And just so you know how I won't say irritating. You know how mad that would make you. You go to get a tooth pulled and you get poisoned with cyanide, ruins your life, brain damage the rest of your life, barely survived, And then I get out here, they thought I figured that out, and I get hit. Obama ordered the military weapon used. Now, if you didn't know, the cyanide was provided by Chris Dodd and Jody Rell in Connecticut. Those were two of the people who authorized it for sure, I can tell. Now, Chris Dodd is friends with Obama. Obama actually campaigned for Dodd in 09, I think it was November 09, almost into 010. Dodd was running again for Senate because he had been for many terms. And then when I found out the doctor falsified my records, they thought I figured it out. Apparently, it goes back to high school. Something in high school. I was recorded during high school, apparently, by Mark Kaminsky, apparently Mark Kaminsky. And I had no idea all these years, and they thought I knew, and they thought I figured it out. And, Now, so Chris Dodd is, you have Obama, him campaigning, and when I found that out, Chris Dodd said he wasn't running anymore. So he left. Jody Rell, in tears, said she wasn't going to run again. She left. So when I get out here, they thought I figured it out when I found out the homeless were dead and all that stuff. It's kind of longer than that. See, my story is so freaking long. It's ridiculous. I was warned because I started posting the homeless were killed. I was warned. Not deterred, they hit me with that weapon on March 19th, 2016. A military weapon. Basically, it fires radio waves at you. And how do you prove that? It exists. It's known. It's not secret. I knew it was either that or a poison because I was in my tent when it happened. So I'm like, they either had to give it to me in my food and it's just a slow reacting poison, kind of like the cyanide was originally. The first time it was, not after that. Once you take the cyanide and your body develops a reaction to it, once you take it again, your body does that right away. You'll go into shock right away because your body knows it's a poison, a toxin. But when you first take it, your body doesn't know it. So if you didn't know that, how poison really works, it's not like it's an acid that eats away at your body. It causes your body to not function how it's supposed to. So what cyanide does is it stops the oxygen process as you breathe from converting to energy. So your cells starve on the inside. So it takes your body a little while to develop at least in pill form. It did with me. Now I don't know if they had it on lower pill. I don't know how. No, they didn't. See, I don't want to get into too much of that stuff. But anyway, yeah, Obama ordered the weapon, 100% with consultation with my family, back in 2016, and then they did again on the end of May, after I deleted my videos on Facebook, which I regret to this day. I made videos after they after they hit me with the weapon in 2016. Sorry. It was like a day or two later. I made videos on 3rd Street at the promenade, and they were all fleeing. They all knew I had been hit with that weapon. I filmed it. I posted it on Facebook, and a day or two later I pulled it, thinking I'd be safer if I did, and it was stupid because the end of May they tried again. I left during, so I survived, but I got more damage. And what it does is when you fire radio waves at your brain, it kind of does what cyanide does in a sense. It stops your brain from functioning properly and causes your cells to die and form basically tumors like a cancer. So they would have said I died like my dad. How clever, right? I died like my dad of tumors was the goal. But I survived. And when I figured that out, I could see the undercover in front of me. They were panicking because I was posting that they used the weapon on me and that it caused tumors, because they were going to say, even after the fact, all my posts were because of these tumors, it messed with his brain, and he died like his dad, and then that would have been a great cover-up. It wouldn't kill my reputation, it would have been a cover-up, and it would have been... Now, since I've posted all that stuff, they have to go to the nasty cover-up, which is what you're going to see when it happens. And you can see it in my videos. Just watch my videos, and you will see what they're trying to do for the cover-up. It's obviously sexual stuff. A guy who never touched anybody, they're trying to destroy. So, but I don't want to end it on that. So, and then you had Trump take over, who's Catholic. He's in this cult. He knows I was poisoned in 07. He knows the weapon was used on me when Obama was basically on his way out. And then Obama and Steve Vai get together and perform Hotel California at the Kennedy Center. Well, Catholics killed Kennedy because he stood up for free people, homeless, you could say, eat on top. So Hotel California is a song about homeless people. It's making fun of homeless people if you listen to it. And that's what Catholics use it as. It's like a secret cult song. So Vi plays Hotel California for Obama before he leaves at the Kennedy Center, which they killed Kennedy again, as I told you. So come July 2018, I see this video. I saw it actually a little earlier, and I was not happy because I knew Obama was involved. So I'm like, what does Vi know too? And then I got mad, so I posted in one of the comments, Steve I retired 20 years ago. Well, I heard a gasp from the undercovers at the CIA library when I said it, because they immediately said, we're going to kill this motherfucker when I said it, because they were all mic'd up. And I heard the gasp. And days later, that assault and robbery happened, where they took my Ibanez Gem Steve I model guitar. And guess what happens? On my birthday, YouTube, I open up the app. Steve I has a new video out. It's a 2-year-old song, but yet he has a new video out called Dark Matter. And it's the first video on my YouTube, Google. Now, if you didn't know, Google is across the street from 3rd Ave, where they used the weapon on me. Right there. Google's involved killing the homeless, right? So the first video is a Steve I video. And guess what? It appears Jamie's guitar is in this video. I contacted the director, and if you see his reaction, I posted it on Facebook. It's guilty as fuck. They didn't think I'd ever figure it out, but they thought it would be funny for kicks. So apparently my guitar got in Mr. Vi's hands, and obviously they changed it. It's not the same, like I'm not going to get into what they did. I posted about it, and it's been a while, so I don't want to say exactly, because, I posted something a year ago, or it was more than a year ago I posted it. I don't want to, so you can look that up. What was that? What was it? October? So it's 2018. Damn, is that long ago? October 2018. Look on my Facebook and you'll see it. October 23rd to be. Wait, did I post it originally? Check October 23rd, 2018, October 24th, 25th. Right in that area, you'll see it, me posting. And I made a few posts subsequently on it. And I contacted the director, which was funny because he put the director's name on the guitar. Well, I don't know if that was my guitar or the guitar he stripped and painted, or it could have been both, and they had one filmed and then filmed the other one after he stripped it. I have no idea. But one guitar, he put the director's name on it, and which is odd. What guitar player puts the name of a director on their guitar and then makes a video? That was a first for him, for Mr. Vi. And if you didn't know, Steve Vi is a fake name. It's a stage name. Steve is really his first name, I believe, but Vi is a stage name. I think his name is Siegel, Steve Siegel. Vi means, it's a play on the eye of the Illuminati, which is this cult. They consider themselves the Illuminati, and what that means is the sun, they believe, is basically Satan, right? The sun, the energy from the sun gives them their skills, so they're illuminated. It's hard to explain. So they believe the energy from the sun gives them their skills, and they're a higher being. To put it, that's what Catholics think. They think they're a different being than people like me. People who follow Jesus, you can say. And that's what the Bible teaches. They worship the devil. They think they're pure based on the Bible. Everybody's pure. And if you break from that, it's basically freedom. Freedom is a sin to these guys. Any kind of free activity breaks the Bible. It is, because you're not following what they believe is God. Anyway, I don't want to get into that garbage. I learned all this stuff as I've gone along. It's not like I knew all this stuff years ago. I didn't. But I can assure you it's solid. It is dead on. So, yeah. Anyway, that guitar. And then this guitar gets stolen. And then Mr. Vi makes a video saying, guess what? I just made a song with the... this isn't like me. I made it with the Strat. But it's an Ibanez Strat type mixed guitar. And guess what? I'm not going to have a whammy bar on this guitar. That's what he said. My guitar didn't have a whammy bar. I'm going to play with my fingers. I rarely... You guys know I rarely play with my fingers. Well, did you see my videos where I said, I don't play with my fingers? And I think he was hoping I would say that was my guitar, and I'm not claiming the Strat in his video is my Strat. But I am quite confident that he was taking digs at me in that video. I'm positive. You would have to watch both, and that's a lot of your time, which is why it works. This is stuff powerful people get to do. They get to fuck with less powerful people in this way. That's how powerful they are. Like Steve I's high up in the Catholic Church, where they can take a guitar from a guy, have a Catholic take it, bring it to Catholics, and then they stick it in a video, show it on YouTube. That's how powerful Catholics are in their one society. It took me a while to grasp that. And I was like, how the fuck they do that? Now the Strat, I'm not saying that was my Strat in his video. I can't say it is, I can't say it isn't. But the Ibanez in his video, from the Dark Matter video, I could say with confidence my guitar somehow got in his hands. Not saying it still is in his hands, I have no idea. They could easily cover for that because I'm the only one in the world who can ID that guitar. So I can die and they can say, look, we found his guitar, and nobody on Facebook would have any clue if it was really my guitar except me. I'm the only one who would know. My family wouldn't know. They never saw the guitar. They do not know what little nuances the guitar had, or I do. And I'm the only one who could ID the guitar, which is why it's never been returned, because they stripped that guitar and, did what they did with it. Replaced the neck or did this, did that. They took that guitar to pieces and and had fun with it. So I'll never get that guitar back. That's a fact. I'll tell you right now, 100%, I would bet $1 million I'll never see that guitar again. Unless they can somehow piece it all back together and paint it, and which I would know. I would be like, this is what they did to my guitar. And so you'll not see that Ibanez return while I'm around. They might say after I'm gone, oh, the sheriff had it, or somebody had it in storage. They found it in a pile somewhere. They'll make up some story. Just like with this guitar. This guitar I actually could see again. The Strat. That's possible. But the Gem, I'll never see my guitar again the way it was anyway. They did something to it, obviously. So I think Mr. Vi was hoping I would claim that was my guitar, and he could easily prove it wasn't, because the guitar was probably made for him a long time ago in the video. So that's what his goal was, and I didn't fall for it. But I did post that he made fun of me, because there's no doubt he made fun of the fact that I don't usually use my fingers, and then he rips it up on the video with his fingers, like he's somehow challenging me, like, I'm better than him. Yeah, okay, that's the one thing you're better than me at, guitar. Okay, that's about it, nothing else. So take it and enjoy it. But I wouldn't even say better. He's just different. I can play guitar quite well. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm better than Steve Vai, but what is better depends on what people want to hear. A lot of people don't like his music. They think it sucks. It's quirky. It's goofy. Whatever. If you listen to Dark Matter, you would think so, right? That's a song that maybe he shouldn't have released. That's a song that would make him like a street performer today if he wasn't famous. But there are some parts of that song actually pretty good. But actually, one part, the part where he's going ching ching ching, that the rhythm part, that's pretty cool. The strumming. That's about the only part of the song worth listening to. The rest of the song is like, what is this garbage? I can do that. So now I call him Spaghetti Arms. Well, I don't all the time, but Mr. Spaghetti Arms. Since he's gonna make fun of me, right? And he knows I said that, by the way. I can assure you, his relatives are here in Santa Monica, as is some of his former band members. Santa Monica is, a lot of famous people are here or have been here, recorded albums here, made movies here. Santa Monica is like the unknown Hollywood. It's smart people here, very smart. I don't agree with their philosophy, but they are very fucking smart. I will say this is probably the smartest area in the U.S. It's pretty close. Obviously, it's in the top 1%. You got your DC people, the smart people in DC. Obviously, the media people, the government people are very smart, but they're all in the same cult. And then you got your New York City people, very smart. Chicago's got their they're 1%, they're 1%. All these cities, very smart people. So they're all on the same type level. But the people here are very smart, no doubt about it. And they work very well mic'd together. They're well trained. So when I show you these videos, these people are really well trained, and you have to understand that when you watch them, otherwise you won't believe it. But I promise you, they are mic'd up. They might even be chipped up. I swear to God, where actually somebody's hitting something on a computer and it's causing a nerve impulse where they actually jolt. Because I've seen stuff where they react too quick for somebody to say in their ear and then them do it. It looks like somebody's doing it where they're hitting the impulse. That is freaky. It's not impossible though. So I don't go that far and say they're chipped. I suspect they might be, some of them at least, but I do know they're mic'd up. When I say mic'd up, I mean implanted mics and earpieces. And I don't mean it's got to be in the ear canal on the outside. It could be inside, where you can't see it at all. but I can assure you 100% they're mic'd up. And both implanted, mic and transmitter and receiver implanted. And this is not just here in Santa Monica, but Santa Monica is definitely a leader in that effort. The RAND Corporation, which I mentioned, was the top scientist tasked with getting this one world system, and they have the best scientists in the world. This is why everybody has computers now. Excuse me, I'm drinking this soda. Ultimately get a one world controlled system. So you're getting a lot of goodies now, but the goodies are going to turn to you're forced to live how you're forced to live, unfortunately. So now it's kind of like the calm before the storm. That you're getting a lot of goodies now. Like these iPhones are really cool. I can assure you the phones they have out here are much better than the newest iPhone. Those are like, I don't know how far behind you are, but they have much better. They have what the most they have. Whatever they have, they don't give it to everybody out here, but the top they give it to. And so, like now 5G is out and all that stuff. It's like 5G. These people probably got 10G. You know, for like LTE or whatever. They're like, this is a 4G phone or whatever. 5G, they got like 10 or as fast as they can do it, they got it. So for Catholics, since they just print up the money, they have unlimited. They control the resources and they control manpower. You can make whatever you can make. So they have hidden cameras all over the place. I'm talking thousands of hidden cameras. And the computer helps run it, apparently. So when I go from place to place, the cameras are handle me. And then they tell the people what to do. And I go to mostly the same spots every day. So my routine's known. And they just put the cameras where they need to. And then they plan for the next day. So when I go the next day, they usually have a plan in place. So today, the video I filmed at the 99-cent store was pre-planned. So just watch it. And you'll see it. This is like one of the longest videos I've ever made. Well, it's a screen recording. After the detective email I made, I'll even show you. Oh wait, no, you know what? I don't want to get into that. Because I have to go through the settings and shit out stuff. I don't want to do that. Let's just see real quick if this went through yet. Oh my god, they let it go through? Really? Really? It's about time. Apparently it went through, so that's good. I'm happy. Because I wasn't going to want to have to repost that after posting it there. Let's see what time. 11. It's like almost 3 hours before they let it go through. Oh yeah, so Google Photos and RBI Baseball. I have it on my favorites. So what I do... Okay. Go to my favorites. Well, in this case, it loaded. And this is on Old Game Shelf. They actually don't list this anymore. It used to be listed if you punch it in, but now you pretty much have to punch it in your search to find it. Very hard. So I'm always pretty much always in National League for, I say, the last 700 or so games. But originally, I did American League a few times to try the two to see which one was better. Because I wasn't playing this in the beginning to do some huge record. That was after I won like 200, when I'm like, holy cow, I'm winning a lot of games here. Let me go count them. But now it's exclusively the National League. The National League is the best team. So that's the caveat. It is a world record, but I am using one of the top teams for sure. You could argue the American League's just as good or better depending on the player and their skill. But for me, the National League is the best team. And in the beginning, too, I was playing the American League only. I was just playing these two and winning and winning and winning. Then I'm like, you know what, let me go to these other teams to give it more legitimacy. But now I try to mix it up as much as possible to make it more legit. Saying, oh, look, he's just playing the same team. You got used to him, blah, blah, blah. But no, now I play every team almost evenly, but I wouldn't say totally evenly. It depends on my mood. But it's pretty close now. And it has been for many hundreds and hundreds of games. So I play all these teams equally for the most part. The only thing I do that is, I don't do the error play. You know, in RBI base where you can make an error and easily get people out. I do not do. I've done that maybe on one hand you can count. Of the 780, whatever I'm at now, I forgot already. 83? No, 80 something. You know what it is, right there. You could count maybe on one hand the times I've done the error play, and that was pretty much early on. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to do that. The one thing I do is if they get a hit and it goes to left field, I'll let them get to second where they start going to third, and then I'll get the ball and throw to third to get the out. That's the only thing I do. But that's not a cheat. It's not a cheat at all. It's part of the game. But that's the only thing I do. I don't give him the hit and just go pick up the ball, and so that's one of the things I do anyway. In my pitching, I throw the curveballs to not let him hit it usually. But if I'm playing like Houston and it's those awful batters who don't really hit well, then I'll just throw the ball to the corner and let them hit it to my pitcher, so it makes it quicker. Sometimes they get hits though, so you take a risk. Especially Nolan Ryan, that guy gets hits like crazy. It's like, what the? He's blown so many no-hitters by getting hits off me, Nolan Ryan. He's the toughest pitcher for me in the game when he's throwing a lot of the off-speed stuff, because his fastball is so good, so fast. But if you know it's coming, it's not hard to hit. But when he throws that 66 mile an hour, and you look like a fool missing it every time. I also do not play this game, I would say, 100% soundly. You know, there's people who would watch me playing and say, oh, I could do that better, or I can do that better. What I have done is found a formula that works, and I'm not changing it. I'm winning these games because the formula I found works, and the chances of me losing a game are almost impossible. I would have to really screw around to lose one of these games. But if I tried deviating from that, it would make too many variables, and you would risk losing a game. You would increase your. You may be better in this game. Even in a series of 50 games, you might have better stats. But I would not have 780, whatever it is, straight wins if I had deviated from my current formula. My current formula is solid, and I do deviate a little bit as far as, like I said, I will let them hit some balls. Even some good hitters sometimes, especially if I think they're taking them. I'm like, oh, I think he's going to take it, and sometimes they don't hit a home run. But if you let them hit the balls, you would not have this win streak. You have to pitch around. When I say pitch around them, you have to pitch balls that they swing and miss. And if you watch my videos, you'll see what those are, the curve balls to the corners. I do not move the pitcher, though, usually. I have them go to the opposite side of the batter, and I'll throw away from the batter. That's the thing I found, and I usually do that. I don't throw it pushing them back. You could strike them out that way too, but you'll throw more pitches, and that goes back to the formula of you're wasting your time, and you're going to lose games if you do that, because you're going to be frustrated because you're wasting your time and using too much brain power. So I found a formula that's easy, it works, and I should not lose any games ever. But obviously, mathematically, you eventually would, you would think. Especially on an iPhone. If I had a remote control, forget about it. I would not lose. But playing on an iPhone, you could have a connection issue. You can have where you're tapping these things like here, and it doesn't it doesn't go through. There's so many things that could happen here, and the fact that it's not a physical button like a controller is. So that increases the chances of your ability to lose. And I had a cracked screen for a while. That increases your chances of losing. I didn't lose. I won quite a few games that crack screen too. I'd say over 100. I'm not exactly sure though. No. Actually, how many? No, maybe not 100. Probably like 50 something. Now that I think about it, because I think I cracked it right around the virus, and I won 66 the other day. I counted. So now I've won 70 something straight. So it was, I don't know, at least 50 games with a crack screen, I'd say. But it doesn't matter. But now those were counted. I made the decision. I'm like, Jamie, you're going to play with the cracked screen? Well, if you do, these games if you decide you're going to play, you have to say they count. You can't sit there and play a game and then say, if you lose, oh, well, the screen was cracked. I decided beforehand. I played one game. I said, let me play this one game. If it's that much of a factor, then I'm not going to play. But I played the game. I'm like, you know what? I'm deciding right now. I'm going to play with the cracked screen. And if I lose, it counts, because otherwise you're free rolling and it's not fair. You'll only count the games you win, and then you'll say, oh, I lost because of the screen. Well, you counted all those games you won, and you can't go back now. So I made the decision that if I were to lose with a cracked screen, which, So anyway, not to get into too much garbage, but as long as the conditions are fair to anybody else who tries to make this record, that's how I view it. That's the goal. As long as what I do, it has to be fair for anybody who tries to beat the record. It has to be the same rules. And that's the standard. And those wins are legit, 100% legit, and everybody out here knows it. But like I said, they're not going to admit it because it would kill their cover-up. I wouldn't sit here and be honest. Just think about it. You think I'd be wasting my stupid time not stupid time. Wasting my time on a stupid game. Not stupid game. Old game that everybody played when they were kids, and it's an old game. If the record was no good, do you think I'd be wasted? I would have just posted, if I was making it up, I would have just posted on Facebook, I won 1,000 straight games. I would have made it up. I would have just posted a few screenshots. Yeah, I won 150 straight, and then later I won 300 more. Or anybody who was making up would lie. They would not post all these screenshots. You could see them. If I go on Google, well, see, it's not all going to be loaded. That's the problem with Google. I mean, if I went back to the you can see the first. Oops. Sorry, wrong. Gotta go way back here. Sorry, there we go, January. Oh, okay, there you go. I was even playing poker back then. Now, this is when I started my free cams, by the way. It was pretty much at the same time I started this record. So that should give everything away to you, by the way. As far as what I'm on my free cams for. If I was on my free cams because I was this crazy stalker, do you think I would be able to concentrate on these games and win them? No. I'm on my free cams because what my free cams is an organized crime operation, and it had to do with what happened to me. I never was on the site before I got cyanide. It was back in, I don't know. Well, I started when the hell was it? I don't know, 2015? When I was talking to Fun Brunette, something like that. I don't even remember how the hell I found out about it. But let me find this baseball here. Now poker, I got over 100 billion on. I don't anymore. I had, which nobody else in the world has done, who doesn't work with the site. All right, what date am I on here? January 18th. All right, it's like the 20th. Shoot. See, this is why I hate Google. All right, where's the date? It was like near the end of January when it started. Oh, there's Fun Brunette right there. There she is. That's Fun Brunette on PokerStars. See the girl right there. There she is. Take a good look. She conned with my family to get me out here in California, or get me out of Connecticut. We played poker together on PokerStars. She bought chips from me so I can get money so I can get out of there. Very clever. And the FBI denies she exists, but yet I saw her badge on Skype. She showed me her FBI badge. The FBI would have to investigate that. That would be a crime to impersonate an FBI agent. And she says in my emails she's FBI. She wasn't hiding it. Now, this was after I was poisoned. I had contacted the FBI before. So they knew my family was involved. I didn't know. So she intentionally told me she was FBI because I had spoken with the FBI before. And they didn't do anything. All right, what date am I on now? All right. But as you can see, I have videos going back for a long time, and not just on this site. I got Mega, this storage. I even played Metroid too. I started playing Metroid as well. I don't know why that pizza thing is there.